A very good morning to all my dear students. So how are you? I hope all you are doing very well, right? So last class what we have learned? At the first class we have discussed the definition of computer network and its advantages. Then what is a computer network? A computer network consists of two or more computers which are linked together for sharing resources, file exchanges, etc. Right? So what are the advantages? Yes, security or cost saving. So many advantages of computer network. Then in the second class we have learned the different types of computer network. What are the different types of computer network? Yes, LAN, MAN, WAN. LAN means local area network and WAN means wide area network and MAN means metropolitan area network. Right? Okay. Today we are going to learn about another portion of this chapter. Its heading is or the topic name is various network architecture. So today we are going to learn about another topic. Its name is various network architecture. Then what do you mean by an architecture? An architecture means simply it's a design or a plan. So network architecture means it's the design of a network. So network architecture means what? It's the design of a network. That means how the computers are organized or what is the functional relationship between each of the computers. These are the things we discussed under the topic various network architecture. Then computer networks can be classified on the basis of network architecture. It is classified into two. Then let's see what are the two classifications of computer network based on network architecture. First one is client server architecture. First one is client server architecture. So first classification is client server architecture. In this client server architecture, there is two terms, a server and a client. For example, in a computer network, consider 5 computers which are connected together and a computer, a single computer which is connected by many other computers, and that single computer is known as server. So first term is server. Server means a single computer and which is connected by many other computers. Here there is a single computer which is a powerful computer and its feature is it's centralized in a centralized location, or it is placed in a centralized location, and all other computers are connected to a single computer and that computer is known as server. So here the powerful computer name is server. Right? So here the single computer or the powerful computer, its name is server. Then another computer, then the sum of the computers which are connected to this server, such computers are known as clients. So for example, this is client 1 and another computer client 2, then client 3 and client 4. So there are some computers which is connected to a single computer, and the computers which are connected to the server are known as clients. And here the central computer which is known as server. Okay, then the job of server is to provide services. So what is the duty of a server? To provide services to clients. So what is the duty of a server? It provided services to the clients. Then what is the job of a client? Client means it make a request to the server by sending messages. So what is the job of a client? It make request by server means it is a powerful computer and it is a centralized location within an organization or a network. Then its job is to send the responses to the client, or to send messages or to send the details to the client. It responded to the client, right? And that means it provided services or information, or we can say that provided data, information to the clients. And then it is connected by all other computers and it is known as client. Then job of a client is to make a request to the server. Then let's take an example, and here is the pictorial representation, and let's take example is, for example, you are the user, right? So you are working with your personal computer. So here consider this is your personal computer and you are the user working with your personal computer. Then if you want to search a particular thing, what will you do? Just search the Google, right? So just click on the Google prompt and there is a search bar and then type the request. Request means type the topic you want to search. For example, I want to search about a computer. So just type the computer here and there is a search bar. So here the computer is request. Computer is request. And you are the client. You are the client. And request is, here the request is computer. You have to know about the details of the computer. And there is a server here. It contains all the data about the computer. So first of all, the client or the user make request and then this request will send it to the server computer. So here the request will send it to the server computer. And what the server do? Server collect all the data related to your topic or computer. So server collect all the details of the computer and then it displays on your screen or monitor. So then after we searching, we can see that so many information about computers will display here, right? So you are the client, you making a request by sending messages or searching a particular topic and this will send it to the server. Server duty is to collect all the details. That means it provides services. So it collects all the details or the data and then it displays on your monitor, right? So here you are the user, or we can call it as you are a client. And then user search a topic and this, that means user make a request. It will send it to the server. Server respond it to client or server respond it to user by displaying all the details of the data related to what you are searching result. Then there are some advantages in client-server architecture. First one is centralization of control. First one is centralization. Centralization of control. Centralization of control means here server is the master. Master means the server computer has the power to control all the computers in that network. And it contains, or the server computer contains all the data shared in this particular network. So it has the power to control all the computers in the network. So there is a centralized control in client-server architecture, right? That's why it became more secure. So centralized control, so it became more secure. So second point is security is ensured, right? So for security, and we can say that any unauthorized access cannot collect or cannot access any data in this particular network, because here in the server it controls all the computers in the network. So any computer outside cannot access the data in this particular network. Okay, then next advantage is scalability. So another advantage is scalability. What do you mean by scalability? Scalability means here the master computer or server can have a power to add the computers in this network. So he has the power to add some computers to this network. So we can add computers to the network, that is scalability. And next point is backing up of data. Backing up of data means backing up data. All the data shared in the computers are stored in the server. So if any data is missing, we can back up the data from the server. So first one is, what are the advantages? Centralization of control, security is more, scalability, and fourth one is backing up of data. Okay, then this is the architecture of client server. So this is the first classification. And second classification is peer-to-peer architecture. In peer-to-peer architecture, there are some differences when compared to client-server architecture. So, in peer-to-peer architecture, the computers are connected each other. But here is the difference is, there is no server or client, because each computer acts as a server and a client. That means there is no request or response to each other. That means there is no master, there is no server. Each computer shares resources or files to another computer, and we call it as each computer a node. So particular nodes are connected to each other in peer-to-peer architecture. And here there is no dedicated server. That's why the centralized control is missing. So any computer can add it to the network, and any computer can access the data in this network. And if a printer is connected to a particular node, for example here a printer is connected to a particular node, and another node can access that printer in this network. Right? So peer-to-peer architecture is the computers are connected to each other, and a printer is connected to a particular node, then it can be accessed by other nodes in that particular network. Nodes means node means client, or another word of client is workstation computer. We can call it as client computer, node, etc. So this is another name of client computers. So in peer-to-peer computer architecture, it is very simple design, and all the computers are connected to each other. There is no server or client. Each computer acts as a server and a client. That means the two computers share files between each other, and here also files are shared between each other, and a printer which is connected to a particular network, it can be accessed by any other computer in that network. And so there are some disadvantages in peer-to-peer network, that is centralization of control is missing. That's why security is very less when compared to client-server architecture. And also backing up of data is missing in this peer-to-peer architecture. So which one is more secure? Yes, client-server architecture is more secure, right? And this is the graphical or pictorial representation of peer-to-peer architecture. Okay. Then next one is wireless LAN. Wireless LAN. LAN means local area network, right? So LAN we already mentioned in our previous class. LAN means local area network. It covers only small range of area, like for an example a campus or an office or a group of buildings. So it covers the range of a small area. That is LAN. So such type of network we can consider as a LAN. here the topic is wireless LAN. So what do you mean by wireless LAN? In our network, there are two types of connections. What are the connections? Wired connection and wireless connection. So first one is wired connection, and second one is wireless connection. Wireless connection. Okay, so there are two types of connection, wired connection and wireless connection. In wired connection, it uses cables. In wired connection, it uses cables for connecting the computers, right? So in wired connection, what are the thing uses? It uses cable wires, right? But in wireless connection, we cannot use any type of cable, but it works on the basis of some radio waves. It works on the radio waves, right? So there are two types of connections, wired connection and wireless connection. But there are some disadvantages in wired connection. That means breakage of cable in a switch, or disconnection of cables, then or a breakage. So such type of problems in wired connection. That means breakage, loose connections, disconnection from the hub. So this problem can be avoided by our wireless connection. In wireless connection, it provides an antenna, so signals can be transmitted to networking switch. Okay, so how to solve the problem of wired connection? The solution is wireless connections. Then now we are going to learn about how to set up a wireless connection. That means wireless LAN. First, now let's learn what is the definition of wireless LAN. Wireless LAN, or we can call it as WLAN. WLAN is the one which a moving user can connect to the LAN using a radio waves, using wireless connection. So what is that? The wireless LAN or WLAN? It is one which a moving user can connect to the LAN using wireless connection. Okay, then now let's learn how to set up a wireless connection. How to set a wireless connection. In wired connection, so now I am going to tell you in wired connection, let me ask you, besides computer, what other things we need to form a network? Yes, besides computer, we need a network interface card and a software, then a cable. These three things are used for connecting a network in wired connection. Yes, network interface card, a software and a cable. So, one end of the cable wire, or one end is connected to NIC. One end is connected here. Consider this is NIC. So, one end is connected to NIC and other end is connected to switch or hub. Switch or hub. So, one end is connected to NIC card, network interface card, and another end is connected to switch or hub. Then what is the use of switch or hub? Yes, it is used to connect the computers, right? So here is the problem because in this wired connection, sometimes the cable become break or lose connection, disconnection from the switch. Such type of problems will occur in wired connection. And in wired connection, one end of cable is connected to a network interface card which is attached to the CPU, and another end is connected to switch or hub, right? But in wireless connection, network interface card feature an antenna. For example, network interface card feature an antenna and it provides signals to switches or hub. Here is the switch and it provides signals to switch. So there is no a cable is used. And here antenna provides signals to the switch, and switch point that switch is known as access point, and that switch is known as access point. So in wireless connection, the network interface card switch on an antenna, it provides signals to the networking switch and is known as access port. Okay, then here radio waves are used in wireless connections. The next topic is windows in a network environment. Windows in a network environment. Right. Yes, Windows in a network environment. Then Windows means what? It is an operating system. Yes, we already know what is a Windows. Yes, what's the use of operating system? To manage the resources in the computer, or we can say that it is an interface between a human and a computer, right? Okay, so here Windows in a what network environment. For example, if the computer is connected in a network in the operating system Windows, how to log in that network? So we are going to learn about login on. So that is login on. Login on. Logging on means to access the devices or files from another computer in that network, or to access the printers in another network. Then here we used a login on process. So login processes or logging on processes to connect a computer to a particular network. So that process is known as logging on, right? So in logging on process, we need two identification steps. So what are the two identification steps? First, you need a user ID. So you need a user ID. And second one, you need a password. Password. Okay. So user ID or username is the term which you and your computer only knows. And similarly, password means it is the word or secret word which the computer and the user only knows that password. So what is login on? Login on means this is the process to connect a computer to a particular network. Then next is logging off. Logging off means we can disconnect from that network, or if you want do not to access the printer in that particular network, you want to disconnect from that network. So logging off means process which disconnecting from a particular network. And how to disconnect, how to remove from a particular network? You can log off from the computer. So here is a shutdown arrow and there is a log off option. So just click on the log off options, you can disconnect from that network, right? Yes. Then next is accessing files or drives on another computer. Yes, to accessing files or drives in another computer. For example, 5 computers or 3 computers are connected in a computer network. Then, if on computer, when it is logged into a or a network connection, then that computer can see the available computers which is present in that network. That means to access the files on other computers in that network using Windows 7, the first step is double click on the computer icon. Computer icon means this computer or my computer. First double click on the computer icon. Then on the navigation pane you can see a name that network. So you can see a name network. Then click on that network and you can see the computers which are available in that network. So if we click on the network, you can see the number of computers that are available on that particular network. Then next is access that network, access that computer in that particular network. You can see the name of that computer. Then double click on that particular computer. Double click on that computer you want to access. After that, when we click on that computer, you can access the files or drives in other computer. So what are the process? First one, double click on the computer and you can see a network option on the navigation pane. And when we click on the network, you can see the computers which are available in that network. Then you can access the particular network you want to access, and also access the files or drives in that network or that computer, right? So these are the important topics. And so what we have learned today, at first we discussed about various network architecture. So what are the network architecture? Client server architecture and peer-to-peer architecture. In client server architecture, there is a server and a client. Server means it is a powerful computer which has a centralized location and which provides services to the client. And in client, which make requests to the server by sending messages. Then after that, we discussed about wireless LAN. Wireless LAN means it also called it as WLAN, which is the one which a moving user can connect to a particular network by using a wireless connection. Then after, we discussed about Windows in network environment. So there are two processes, login on and login off. In login on, you need two identification steps. You need a user ID and a password. Then after, how to access a files in other computers using these steps, double click on the computer, you can see a network option. Then click on that network, you can see the computer that are available on that network. Then access the files and drives in that computer in that network. Okay, thank you. Our first chapter is over. Thank you.